You're listening to the SAFM Market Update with MoneyWeb, brought to you by the Escalator Funds from Discovery Invest. Discovery is an authorized financial services provider. And this technology, media and telecommunications report is brought to you by Vox Telecom, South Africa's leading alternative telco. Jonas Bogoshi is the chief executive of Gijima. He's in the studio. It's interesting, Jonas, you guys have really almost been ahead of the curve on your capital management. Time after time we get executives coming into the studio saying we have to conserve our cash, we have to look after our cash. But you've gone into that quite aggressively, and it's now showing in the set of financial results you released today.
That's right, Alec. Thank you very much. Well, around the beginning of September or so, we realized that there's going to be a challenge in terms of economic downturn. And the focus was on us to preserve cash. And what we did, we put in a plan, one of which was to go out there and make sure that we collect all the data from our customers. And I think you can see the big impact of that. And secondly, to contain expenditure, just to make sure that we can handle the downturn in case it has a serious impact on us. But also went into the market to go after a securitization program to get another 100 million rand or so. So I'm quite comfortable. We've got about 336 million rand in the bank now compared to 171 last year. So this was a good move that we took late last year, and it is really paying dividends.
You've virtually doubled your cash. Now talk about paying dividends. You paid one last year. You paid one the year before. You went from 1.5 cents in 2007, 3.5 cents in 2008. Are you going to be an old mutual and say, sorry, we've got to conserve cash in the 6 months' time?
It is still early for me to tell. The indications, one, by the way, we don't pay interim dividends. So
just the year end.
So the year end, the plan is to continue paying dividends. We're not there yet, but we have some cash. I think it is possible to expect a dividend payment.
That's good news, Jonas. Just looking at by halves, though, you went, again, if we take the last three periods, you went from 4.3 cents to 7 cents in the second half of last financial year, back to 4.4 cents. Is that because things will be better in the second 6 months of this financial year too?
I'm expecting, generally speaking, right, we've got about 45% of our business happens on the first half of the year and the balance second half of the year. So I expect this second half of the year to be in the same region as what we've been doing all along. So I think it's going to be a much better second half. When I look at the prospects that we have in terms of orders that we have already on our books, it looks like it's going to be a good year for us.
GijimaAst is a company you've got to go and do your research on. Big shareholding there by Alan Gray, around 25% of the business. And from what Mr. Bogoshi is telling us, there's no question that they're well placed. Financially, they're well placed and by the way, David, the public sector share of revenue went from 19% to 43%. So this is a business that seems to be well placed.
I think it's like on a 3PE or something.
Four. Price earnings ratio 4. And this technology, media and telecommunications report was brought to you by Vox Telecom, South Africa's leading alternative telco. If they hold their dividend, David, it's a 10% dividend yield.